All right, problem 3.3 is called division of rational numbers. So this time we're moving on to multiplication and division fact families and figuring out how to divide and what the rules are with division. Starting with problem A, it says, use what you know about fact families and multiplication to rewrite, if necessary, and find the missing value. Then find and find the missing value, and then find the missing value. Well, that makes sense because, extra words are important. Anyways, so number 1 says -6. I'm going to use a dot instead of the X because I hate that. They need to stop doing that. Times -13. So first, like they said, they want you to find the other part of the fact family. Remember, fact families are basically like using the same numbers but rewriting it using multiplication and division. And you can remember also that multiplication is commutative, so -13 times -6 is exactly the same thing. And so this answer here would be a negative times a negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive 78. And then number 2 is +6 times -13. A positive times a negative would be -78. Number 3 is -12. Oh, now I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Something times -9 equals 108. So this one is different because this first number is missing. And this is what they meant about the fact families. So you could rewrite this like if you didn't understand why this number was missing and how to work backwards. You would use this number and this number, but you would write it in a fact family. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So you would say 108 divided by -9 equals what number? And then at that point, you would get -12. Number 4, 8 times some number is -48. So again, you would say -48 divided by 8 is what number? You would come up with -6. Part B says the team in problem 3.1 runs another relay. Write division sentences that express your answers to the questions below. Number 1, Dwayne goes from 0 to 15 meters in 5 seconds. At what rate meters per second does he run? So you have 0 to 15 meters in 5 seconds. $15 meters, 5 seconds. How many meters per second? 3 meters per second. Your question may be, how did you know how to do that? Again, whenever you're dividing, you are trying to get some number out of one unit. That's like the whole point of division. So for example, if you have a certain amount of money and you want to know how much you can spend each day, you would divide that by 7 because there are 7 days in a week, and that would give you how much money you can spend per day. So that's why we're doing it that way. So you take the total amount, 15 meters, divide it by your number of seconds, and then you get 3 meters per second. Number 2, Pascal reaches negative 12 meters in only 3 seconds after passing 0. At what rate does he run? So again, it's running backwards this time. Negative 12 meters, 3 seconds. And how many does he run per second? He runs to the left 4 meters per second. Number 3, Aurelia passes 0 running to the right at a rate of 5 meters per second. When did she leave the point -50? When did she leave the point -24? So there's a couple extra questions in there that we have to figure out. So that's going to take us a little bit longer. So first we need to do the first question. And so we're going to do, when did they leave or pass the 50-meter mark? 5 seconds. And you're going to get -10, which means that Aurelia left the point of -50 10 seconds before she passed 0, because this is still negative, right? So we're still not past 0. And then she left -24. Again, still moving at a rate of 5 meters per second. And because 24 is not easily divisible by 5, I like to just leave it as an improper fraction. You can totally do that. That's fine. But if you would like to, you can also change it into a mixed number, which would be -4 4/5. Or if you really like decimals, you could do -4.8. If you use your calculator, it's unless you specify otherwise, it's always going to give you answers in decimal form, like that. And any of these answers are correct and they are fine. So you'd be fine for that. Number 4 says Tori wants to reach the point -40 running to the left at 8 meters per second. How long will it take her from the time she passes 0? So again, -40, -8, because it says running to the left at 8 meters per second. And how long will it take her from the time she passes 0? And this equals 5 seconds. I feel like this one is a little bit, this probably confused you a little bit, maybe because the question is different. Because it says, how long will it take her from the time she passes 0, and not what rate is she running at. So Sorry about that. We had a fox on campus right now, and everybody was outside taking pictures. As I was saying, this question was different because they were asking how long it will take from the time they pass zero and not what the rate was. So it's just, just dealing with 5 seconds. And if you wanted to like see how would you say that? The units, it would be meters and then probably meters per second. So that's 5 seconds. All right, so I had to then go look to see if I was supposed to do part C as well, and I am. So I'm going to scroll down here, and we are only going to do C1, 2, and 4. We're going to skip C3 for now. That's something that we can do later. So for part C, it says, what do the examples in each group have in common? I'm going to scooch this up. So part C1, looking at groups 1, 2, and 3, what do they have? What do the numbers have in common? This is kind of like what we did, I think in 3.1. In group 1, I noticed that both numbers are positive. I'm just going to put a plus sign in both because I'm lazy. And then group 2, 1 is positive and 1 is negative. And then for group 3, both are negative. Number 2, find the quotients in each group above. So for group 1, you have 12 divided by 3, which is 4. You have 4.5 divided by 9, which is 1/2. And then you have 2 1/4 divided by 1/2, which is 4 1/2. I wonder if you guys know how to do that. Maybe I'll show you, just in case. I'll put it down here. So if you don't know how to get this answer, I'll just show you really quick. So I'm going to turn that first one, 2 1/4, into an improper fraction. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So the first one is 9/4, and then divided by 1/2. You have to remember that when you're dividing fractions, you basically flip this one around and do multiplication. So that would turn into 9/4 times 2/1, which would turn into 18/4. And then you can either leave it like that or you can change it into a mixed number by dividing this number by that number and going from there. I feel like you should know how to do that too. But I'll just do it. So 4 times 4 is 16, which is close. So I'm going to do 4 as the big number. 4 holes fit in there. And then you would have 2 left over, which would be 2/4. But you can reduce this down to 4 1/2. Hopefully that rings some bells for you. G2 says 12 divided by -3, which would be -4. And then -4.5 divided by 9, which would be -1/2. And 2/4 divided by -1/2, which would be -4/2. Notice the pattern again. Group 3 would be -12 times -3, which would be +4. -4.5, divided by, sorry, I don't know if I said multiplication. divided by negative 9, which would be 1/2, and negative 2 1/4 divided by negative 1/2, which would be 4 1/2. Again, we're skipping number 3 because that would just take too long, and this video would be forever, and I know how much you guys love that. So number 4 basically asks us to give the rule. If you're trying to tell somebody what to do when you are solving for these, how to do it, basically you would say, do the division first, like just the numbers, just deal with the numbers first. And then if the signs are the same, like on the numbers, the answer will be positive, and if they are different, the answer will be negative. So then tomorrow we will work on the other problems together.